What's up, all my Ewoks, Tribbles, and Droids? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, I know I am known as That Spoilers Girl. Somebody even sent me a t-shirt that says warning spoilers across it, but I'm going to try my absolute hardest to not let any of them slip because I understand the movie just came out. People want to hear, my thoughts and others' thoughts about it, but they don't necessarily want it to be spoiled because they're up in the air on whether or not they want to see this movie. I would say I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It's a very happy, lighthearted, and fun movie. Also, one of the things that the studio did was it actually listened to its fan base and it respected the source material, and they made changes because of the insane amount of backlash that they got when they released their first trailer. For those of you that are not aware, they released the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog, and Sonic originally looked like this, which is, it freaked people out. And, there was plenty of videos made about how revolting and how terrifying this thing was. Because that's not Sonic. The studio saw how many downvotes the trailer got, how everyone in the comments was like, what the hell is that? And so they said, hey, we hear you. We're going to go take some time, because it was supposed to be released earlier. We're going to take some time, and we're going to go back to the drawing board. We're going to fix it. It's going to look like Sonic. They re-released the trailer. Everyone was like, yes, oh my gosh, it looks like Sonic. And, that's why they are having such, a good turnout at the box office. That's why they're making money, because they are respecting the source material and they are listening to their fan base, because at the end of the day, who's going to be the ones that are giving them the money for making the movie? It's the fans that buy tickets, that buy products, and if you say fuck you to the fans, they're not going to like that very much. They're not going to want to go see your movie. We're watching that happen, and we've been watching that happen with films, in the past few years. So it's interesting to see how that's playing out. But if they wouldn't have, and as someone that's seen the movie, if they wouldn't have changed it, if they would have just gone with it, instead of being a lighthearted, fun comedy movie, because of the opening scene, it's, without spoiling anything, it's so cute! It's so cute! And if they hadn't changed the design of Sonic, especially for that opening scene, this would have gone from a light-hearted comedy action adventure movie to a straight-up horror movie disguised as a light-hearted, fun family movie. There's even scenes later on when, Sonic is kind of saying, this is typical, you have to have the introduction to the setting, and, it's typical Sonic, like, going through everyday life. This is the world. We're getting introduced to the world. Everyone that's seen the movie will know what I'm talking about when I say, how creepy and how it would have seemed like a horror movie if it was the original Sonic design as compared to the new Sonic design. Some of these scenes would be straight up out of a horror film, like, oh my god, when is this thing gonna kill me kind of movie. So it's very good on them that they changed it. Yes, there would have been a lot of memes coming out for that, but honestly, for the sake of the studio, the people that worked on this movie, for the sake of this movie in general, especially with the setup that they have at the end of this movie, it's a very good thing that they changed it, because this would have been a complete shit show if they didn't. Now, to talk more about it, the design of Sonic, they did a great job redoing it, and it did fit a lot of, if you actually played the game and if you watch the cartoon, because I am not a video game person. I'm not good at them at all, but I remember when I would go over to my friend's house and they had the Sonic game, so I would attempt to play it, but I epically fail at it. But I did watch the cartoon when I was a kid. It's been a really long time, so this was like a blast from the past, which was a lot of fun to go there. And I went to the theater by myself, and I'm one of those people, I don't like to be around humans. I'm very antisocial. I like to stay in my little cave. But at the theater, and people were giving me, teasing me about it on Twitter because I posted pictures. I'm not one for, even when I'm going to a kids movie, if people talk during movies, it's like my eye starts twitching. If people are on their phones during movies, my blood starts boiling because I'm like, I'm paying money to go see this movie. You better be quiet and you better turn off your phone. If you can't do that, don't go to the movies. So I will go and I will pay more, which also goes towards the movie and, the people that make the movies. So I go to the nice 21 and over fancy theater that has reclining chairs. I can have a margarita while I watch my movie. So that's what I did. And yes, there was no children in this movie because it's over 21, which I'm happy about, because as much as I love children, when you go out to the movies, it's just something I don't want to hear a crying baby. I just don't. I will pay more so that way the kids can have, their thing and I'm not there sitting there, taking away from the enjoyment of the movie. So I'm in my nice theater. I'm in my recliner chair and I'm watching it and Jim Carrey comes on and I'm thinking like, oh my God, not only is this a blast from the past that I'm seeing Sonic, that, the rings and that's not really a spoiler because if you know what Sonic is, stuff about Sonic, you'll know about the rings. And so I'm sitting back and then Jim Carrey comes on and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I haven't seen this guy. Well, I saw him at Christmas time in The Grinch, but I feel like I haven't watched a Jim Carrey movie or he hasn't done anything in years because I didn't watch any of his dramatic movies. I remember the number 23. I remember when that was coming out and everyone was talking about it, that he's good in dramatic roles. He is always going to be Ace Ventura, Pet Detective in my mind. And, he's very good at comedy. And to see him back in this role, and I know people have talked a lot about how he kind of goes crazy with his politics. I don't know anything about that. I remember hearing about it, but I don't know anything about that. I'm not interested in that. His political leanings have absolutely nothing to do with the way that he acts. And there's a lot of actors and actresses out there that I don't know anything about them in their personal lives. I base my opinion on them based on, especially their acting ability, based on how they perform in a movie. In this movie, I thought it was like seeing Jim Carrey, but he's a little bit older Jim Carrey, and it was perfect because he's so, he's a very movement. He's a very performing actor. So he's not, he's not like Clint Eastwood where he walks in and he's Clint Eastwood and he's all badass. He's got his gun, he's got his catchy phrases, and he just walks in the presence of Clint Eastwood. No, Jim Carrey, Jim Carrey's there. He's moving all weird. He's got his little, especially since he's Robotnik and he does this weird robot thing. I can't do it. I'm not a movement type person. I can't do the robot. The only cool thing I can do is the moonwalk, and even that's a little I feel like that's it was better when I was a kid when I learned how to do it with my socks on the kitchen floor as compared to now. But he is embodying this Robotnik character, and yes, the mad scientist. And to my knowledge, as far as right now, if my memory is serving me wrong, I don't remember him ever playing a mad scientist type of character. I feel like the closest we got was him in the Riddler with the Val Kilmer Batman Forever. I actually really enjoyed that movie. I thought Nicole Kidman was great, but to each their own. I actually really like the Riddler character because I like Riddlers, but I thought Jim Carrey did a great job. Yes, the funny costume. It's a comic book movie. People are going to wear ridiculous costumes. I forgave it. I was also very young when I watched that. But anyways, getting onto his Robotnik character, I think he did a really good job, and just the over-the-top Jim Carreyness, it worked, especially since this is a live-action mixed with CG, a CG hedgehog that's an alien from another universe that's come here to Earth. So it really fit as far as, him being this over-the-top villain, and then the normie characters are just first, there's a blue hedgehog that's runs really fast, and then there's this weird scientist guy, and it's funny to see them. It's the way that they're having the humans be the normie humans. They're kind of just what that They acknowledge how ridiculous this is, and it's kind of it's like us as the audience watching it. We're like, yeah, this is pretty ridiculous, but we're gonna go with it, and we're gonna, we're just gonna try to make the most of it. So it is really cute to see that we have that animated, CG Sonic character, and we have the real life human character, but that's just as ridiculous and animated as the animated character. So I thought that played in nicely. I think the casting of Jim Carrey is perfect at this character. Again, I don't know any of his political things. I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter, and I just kind of scroll past the Twitter wars, but I've seen it, and I don't know anything about his politics. I don't know what side he leans on. I don't know. So, and I to be completely honest, I don't care. That has nothing to do with how well he played Dr. Robotnik in this. He did a great job, and I did have a little bit of a problem with the costuming, because as you know, he has a very certain look in the video game. He's kind of a larger gentleman. Well, he's larger villain, I should say, because he's not very gentleman-like. And, you know, his mustache is a certain way. They do address that in the movie. I'm not going to say how or when that happens, but it does get addressed. For those of you that were worried about the design of Robotnik, it does get addressed, and it's actually in a very perfect manner, I would think, in the movie. And so you just kind of go on this adventure. It's fun. It's lighthearted. It's something that you can take your children to, your young children. They will understand it as well as your teenagers. Now, teenagers, I know they're in that phase where, like, I don't want to be seen with mom and dad. So if they ask to go to the movies to go see that, and you do the pre-buy their ticket, it's not going to be anything bad. They'll probably have a lot of fun, because it's a family movie. Family movie is not just for kids. It's a movie that can be enjoyed at all ages. You know, I'm in my 20s, and I went and I watched it, and I had a great time by myself with my margarita. It was great. That actually sounded pretty sad, but trust me, it was a great time. But anyways, at the end of the movie, because it is a very action-packed, long adventure, it presents the problem at the beginning of the movie, and not necessarily, the overarching thing of Sonic. I mean, we know what that is from the video game, from the TV show, but also Sonic is searching for something, and that does get resolved at the end, and it does it in the most, like, like, it gets you in the gut, and it's so sweet, and I'm like, oh my God, in like that kind of way. And the movie ended with me being very happy, and I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna have a great rest of my day. Like, it could be raining and pouring and thunderstorm, and I'm soaking wet, and I get a flat tire on the side of the freeway, but I'd still be like, oh, it's so cute, so sweet. It leaves you with that warm, fuzzy feeling inside. So it's a very fun, very sweet, very lighthearted movie with a lot of action and adventure and friendship and cuteness and Sonic. So it's a great movie. I would highly recommend watching it. Stay after the credits. Not all of the credits, but they have this cute little the ending where it's like, here's the director, here's the producer, here's the screenwriter, and it how they do it all fun, where there's sometimes at the end of movies they'll have little pictures, they'll have little animated stuff. So stay to the end of that, because there's a scene that is a lead-in to the next movie, possibly, if they do get the funding for that, which I'm sure that they will after this, how successful this one is being. So stay, watch that scene, and after that, at least in my theater, there was nothing after the rest of the credits, just an FYI to everyone. So yeah, there is my spoiler-free Sonic review. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did see the movie, let me know in the comments below, but without any spoilers, if you know about the things that I kind of mentioned in this. I will be doing a spoiler-filled review, maybe next week after enough people have seen it. But so anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And if you have been subscribed, make sure that you are still subscribed. YouTube has been unsubscribing people every single day. It's not just a problem I've been having, but a lot of other YouTubers, because YouTube is changing their algorithm, trying to make it better for big corporations that are trying to move their TV shows onto YouTube. So it's becoming a huge problem for everyone that is, just an individual independent creator. So make sure that you are still subscribed, and also make sure you hit that like button. If you didn't like this video, it's okay. Any traction on this video really helps out me and my channel. And until next time, everyone, have a great rest of your day, and may the force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and I have an Etsy store, so if you've ever wanted to own a print of my artwork, this is the place to go. As you can see, I have a lot of recognizable characters, from horror films to heroes to Star Wars characters. Some of the notable characters I have on here are Darth Vader, which I did a couple live streams painting, so you can own a print of this painting. I also have Luke Skywalker, the binary sunset version, one of my favorite favorite scenes in the original New Hope movie. I have Darth Maul, which Ray Parks himself actually complimented me on Instagram. And then last but certainly not least, Ahsoka Tano. So if you want to own any of these prints, go right on over to my Etsy store. Again, that's The Art of Anna, That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. What's up, everyone? I have a P.O. box, so if you want to send me some mail, go ahead and send it to Anna, That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short, at P.O. Box number 28171, Santa Ana, California, 927998171. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much.